Welcome back to Deck Hockey Focus. We are here at Crawford Brewworks, right down the street from the rink itself. Shek, what on earth are we doing here?
Yeah, so we're going remote this weekend in partnership with Crawford, who's helping us out. But they're also going to extend that partnership to everybody at Deck who's participating, and offering $2 off a pint for all participants who come in. Crawford is actually 2 stoplights down. So if you're from out of town, about 4 minutes away. Definitely a great spot, and definitely appreciate that. Come and check them out. They got the best beer in town.
But we are joined today by the Levesque boys. They are the ones that are in charge of the Team USA 3-on-3, the U17, the U19, coming off their, silver and bronze medals there, respectively. So we're going to run down the tournament with them and kind of get a look behind the curtain and see what it takes to create a winning team. Thanks for joining us, boys.
No, thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
So, hey, real quick, obviously Mock hit on it. The U17, U19, a great opening weekend for those kids going up to play with the silver and the bronze. U19 with the bronze, U17 with the silver. But one of the things I've been asked, and what I wanted to kind of ask you guys, and I've wondered about, is what's the recruiting process look like? I mean, big country, we're located here in Iowa, but I mean, obviously you had the Jersey boys on the team, Pittsburgh, Chicago, and other cities I'm leaving out. So what does that look like for you guys, and how do you structure, the recruitment process?
Well, we had the tryouts here that was in Quad City here in our local deck. So all the we actually had guys from Chicago, Louisiana, Minnesota, Waterloo, Springfield come down. So most of the recruiting came from that tryout, right? We saw a lot of great talent. It was an amazing 2-day event for the kids and stuff, and we started implementing systems right there, like early on. That's why we did it so ahead of time, because we knew to beat a powerhouse like Canada, we need to have some special stuff going on. We can't be last minute, so we did it ahead of time, and then we had some scouts in different areas to give us names that guys couldn't necessarily be at the tryouts because of traveling or other tournaments going on at the same time. So Johnny Ruiz was actually one of our main scouts that gave us a ton of help, and he's the one who recommended Jojo Melillo, Marchese, and Jack Gallen, who came in and helped a lot with U17. But like I said, the tryouts and the recruitment with the scout was countless hours and stuff with Swisher, me, Pat, and Swisher. We sat down every night for 3, 4, 5 hours, and
it was awesome. I think we all enjoyed it and stuff, and we had like Nick was saying, we had scouts all over the United States. In Nevada, we had Lang and stuff, ex-Mallard player. So we had scouts everywhere looking for different players, sending us resumes. Like Nick was saying, we had a lot of videos from players. Here, check out our highlights of what we're doing in our season. So we took that in account too. So we sat down, and like Nick said, we were ahead of Canada and Slovakia on making our team, because we knew we had to do those things a little extra to be able to bring back medals. And obviously the guys followed the game plan, from A to Z, and it shows with the 2 medals they brought back.
Yeah, so with, I guess, the large geographic reach that we got to deal with being Team USA, how do you guys structure the lines? How do you decide, who's playing with who's going to be on the power play, who's going to be on the penalty kill? Like, how do you get everything working? And is it different at the start of the tournament versus the end of the tournament? And maybe some guys have to be shifted around and stuff like that? Or,
I think, like I said, a lot went before from tryouts. Obviously, a lot of guys local. We know them. We know what they're capable of. But those out-of-town guys, it was hard to see where they would fit in. Obviously, like Pat said, we saw videos from them. We looked up their stats, so we kind of know what type of players they are. But it's always, obviously, we had lines going in that we made together, but it changed as we won a tournament. And I think by game 3, I would say our lines were set, our power plays were set, our PKs were set, and everybody took their role.
Yeah, because it's about, the coaches want to find out who gels where. It's not necessarily those 3 guys, you might think they're going to work well together because one's a scorer, one's more a grinder in the corner, one's a defensive. But, even though they're all elite players, they might not have the right chemistry. So that's why, there's a lot of work, from game 1 to the to the after the semifinals and stuff, the rounds for the medals. A lot of work, to figure out what's going to connect well, what's the right chemistry and stuff. We obviously players that play together throughout the season, but sometimes actually we were surprised to see that we had a lot of the guys that let's say played in Quad C or were connecting well with Jersey players, Pittsburgh guys. So, but again, it came out to be that everybody knew their role, they followed their role, and that's one thing I talked to a lot of parents here. Just like today, while the players or teams were putting their tents up, I'm like, the team U17, U19, they all knew their role. If they were there to score, they did that. If they were to block shots, play defensive, play PK, play power play, and that's how you create a winning team. I think you can tell teams that win more or win less is when they win less is they all want to score. They all want to play. They all want to play defense. They all want to do the same thing, right? But when you really want to make it far and win, you got to kind of like have a role, So yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
No, that's great.
So, one of the questions I had, this is more of a personal question for me though, is going into those late medal rounds, what was the atmosphere like for those kids? Like, what was it like just being there?
Especially when you're late in games.
Yeah. Like, fill us in. Like,
I think the atmosphere, the guys, it's crazy. Like we said, it's a lot of guys didn't know each other. We had a group chat going, and you can see before the tournament, nobody wanted to say anything. Everybody's a little shy to talk and stuff. And as soon as it started going, we had a little meeting. Everybody started to know each other. Guys were hanging out, going to the restaurant together, grabbing a Tim Hortons snack and stuff. And it was cool for the coaching staff. We're just watching the kids and like, wow, like, they're gelling already, and it's not even game one. And we show up game one, we take North America, who ended up playing in the semis, right, was one of the best teams. We beat them in the shootout right off the bat to start. And right from then, we're like, wow, this team is going to do damage. All the guys were gelling. Everybody on the bench was pumped and excited. Like Pat said, I think we had a philosophy that we wanted to bring in the team. It's a team philosophy. It's about the team before yourself, right? If you play one shift a period, it doesn't matter, right? It's all one team, and everybody bought into our philosophy, and that's what made the difference. I think that's why we went so far in that tournament, and that's why we got those 2 medals.
No, I think it's a big, again, kind of repeating myself, but winning was a big, obviously that following the system of the coaches, but we had, like Nic was saying, we really wanted the team to gel off the rink, because we knew if that camaraderie and stuff and the chemistry was off the rink, it would show on the rink. And like Nic was saying, it was unreal how the chemistry got going right away pretty quickly. And it's crazy. After the last game when, we were in the locker room and, saying our goodbyes, I mean, it was emotional for all players, So it's exciting to see that in a short amount of time, how you can create like a crazy bond with like your teammates and stuff. But, those big events like the National Tournament coming up here in the Quad C, it's moments that, you want to relive and stuff. It's unreal moments. The adrenaline's like to an extreme level. We all know the day the World Cup ended, the adrenaline's down and you're like, what's going on? Like Sunday night, we're all going to be like, okay, I need adrenaline here. Like what happened here? Just right. It's like, but yeah, it was an unreal moment for all the players and the coaches to see that.
Well, so I was thinking, I would say a great deal of the scoring for Team USA, I guess, as far as the rest of the teams probably fall into the same category, came on the special teams when you're on the power play. So I wanted to know, how physical was that tournament compared to maybe what some of these guys might be used to? And then when you guys found yourselves with the man advantage, it seemed like that was super successful. So speak a little bit about the special teams.
Yeah, I think we put a lot, like if you look at our practices we had ahead of time, we focus a lot on the special units, right? Because we know, like you said, that's a huge part of the 3-on-3 game. I mean, you have a 2-minute power play. Our team goal is to score, right? If you don't score on the power play, you didn't do your job for the team, right? So we had guys that had a role. That was their role, to go on the power play and score, and they did it. Obviously, it was successful. Like I said, we put a lot of time into it. We had a lot of video sessions. So me and Swish and Pat, between every game, we would rewatch every game, see what can we do better. All right, PK, same thing. Our PK stepped it up big time. If you look at our first game, where every time we're in PK, we got scored on, and you look at our game 3, I think we killed 3 PKs in a row. That you never see this in a full 2-minute 3-on-3 3-on-3 deck, right? So it was unreal how the players stepped it up and learned the system and stuck with the system, and it just showed how well they did and stuff. But no, it was for the physicality. Obviously, it's World Cup, so you can play the body a lot more than in a season play. It would probably compare the physicality of D1 in the summer tournament, I would say, something like that. But yeah, the kids stepped it up. Some of them, it was their first time playing at. Most of them was their first time playing at the level, that physicality, and they all stepped it up. And I have nothing, like, only great things to say about all these players. It's the way they've showed up and acted like professionals at that age. We had kids that were 14 years old on the team, and they showed up and so professional. It's just unreal to see at that age, and it's cool to see this is the future for us, right? So these guys are the ones that are going to play for the men's team in years to come. They're going to take our spots, and it makes me excited just to seeing that. Like, wow, the future is bright for USA.
It's unreal.
You know?
No, for real. I mean, being a young organization compared to Slovakia and Canada, and being right there with Canada, like Nic was saying, it's the future. Even of all our locations so far, and as we expand, is unreal. So obviously, I say watch out to all the other countries, because we're bringing more medals.
Yeah. So, kind of excellent points made there, and I kind of want to hit on that a little more. And Pat just said that, young organization, this is really the freshman, the first go at this, right?
Yeah.
So, no time off. You've got another tournament in, 2 years? Yeah. What are you guys looking to kind of grow from there? And then what's kind of the plan and process to bring home gold?
What's the future look like? Let's go to Patty on this one first.
Well, I think obviously it's you got to play as much as you can, right? We have a big event coming up here in the Quad City. You have seasons after that, so it's getting our guys, our boys, our team to play as many games they can, work their skills, keep in touch, play in tournaments together. I know a couple guys are coming down, right, that were from the U17, U19. They're playing together here in the Quad City. So it's really, keep the guys going, keep in touch with everybody, what they're doing off the rink, on the rink, try to help them out too, what they can do off the rink to work their speed, work their agility, all that stuff. And then, it's going to be, like I said, we proved that we are, we're there. Mm-hmm. We came back with something that I think nobody expected from us, being so young. The future is unreal, and then we're going to build from there, and it's going to be exciting.
So let me paint you a hypothetical. So with the national tournament, just, I guess, minutes and miles away, let's say there's a young kid, you guys are watching games, some kid from out of town you've never seen before. What's something that you look for, or what's something that you might see to want you to dig deeper and look for a player and say, hey, this guy looks like he's got a lot of potential, but what's that initial first spark look like on maybe someone that you're just casually watching a game and you're not even aware that they're going to be a talent? So what's that look like?
Well, for me, my first point is the attitude. That's what I was saying. Literally, I don't care if it's your attitude, because no team will win if they have a cancer in the team or somebody negative on the bench. So the attitude, the way you react after a goal, not even when you score a goal, because everybody's pumped. The way a young player acts after he gets scored on, or after he gets a trip, and is he going to yell at the ref? He's going to go down himself. This is literally the number one thing I look. So yeah. Yeah,
yes.
After
same thing you said. It's obviously you can have all the skill in the world, the best shots, the heavy shots. That's all the little tools we look for. But like Pat said, it sounds cliche, but that's our number one thing. We keep repeating it's our philosophy. That's what it was. If guys, like Pat said, you get tripped, you stay down, you start complaining at the referee. We don't want that on our team, right? We want guys that are professionals. You get tripped as part of the game, you get back up and you go get the ball, right? That's, you keep competing, and it's the competing level. I want to see guys that never quit. They battle hard. They nonstop, right? You lose a battle, you're right back. You back check, forecheck. It's both ways of the deck. But like you said, it's the attitude aspect that we want. Number one thing, yeah.
Okay. So we kind of hinted out about 6 or 7 times your national tournament going on. Obviously, you guys are going back-to-back weekends here. Montreal last weekend for the World Cup, and now we've got the national championship, national tournament happen this weekend. Obviously, the biggest weekend of the year. We all look forward to it. We've been using hashtag best week in the summer for years now, and it is. But kind of wanted to just dig a little deeper, because it had humble beginnings, right? Charity tournament, then the Iowa Games, and then 2 rinks, and it's grown. Wanted to talk about up to 56 teams this year, Canada all over the United States. But wanted to ask and talk about, what does that look like from a planning process, and recruiting teams, and What's everything that happens to make this that nobody gets to see?
I think it came from a vision we had a couple of years ago. We were sitting down and we're just like, we had, like you said, we had the Iowa games, the charity tournaments, and all that. And we're like, we need a big event, a national event where we want to attract people from everywhere and have them see what the beauty of the
big prizes and stuff. Like something that nobody's seen. Like real, I mean, like 17,000 money in prize. Like where do you see that, right? So we want like the Quad City be like known for that and grow it every year, and it's going to be the biggest one. Obviously, keeps getting bigger and bigger. We sold out in 2 weeks. A bunch of teams on the waiting list and stuff. So it's amazing, you know, for the community here and stuff. And so no, it's just the start of it. That's the beauty of it too. We're still so young, but at the same time big. So you know, eventually we're looking to build a third rink and then accept more teams. And then in the future, we're going to host a World Cup too here. So many, you know, big events in the future and stuff. But like you're saying, you know, we're a couple minutes away from the drop of the first ball for the national tournament. So it's going to be again, like you're saying, the best weekend of the year for sure.
Nic, anything to add?
No, like you said, I think it's great. Like we said, like adding just the atmosphere is, I think, what people go crazy about. It's already, I go there and I already have goosebumps. It's not even started. We're only Wednesday about to start game one, and I'm just watching and I'm like rethinking of all the memories and what's about more memories to come, right? And whether it's D1 or all the way down to D4 and juniors, every level is competitive. I ref in the National Summer Tournament. I can ref D4, and I'm like, wow, this game is it's unreal because everybody is so, and like obviously rankings started from nothing, but now to the point we are, it's getting better and better, and you can see just in Waterloo a couple months ago how the teams are all on the same level, right? So every game is so close, so competitive, right, for the most part. So, but it's going to be a battle in every division. I think D4 with 24 teams is going to be, playoffs are going to be crazy starting Saturday night. So it's like I said, it's not just D1 is going to be unreal to watch, obviously the top talent, but every level is going to be just an epic show for sure, guaranteed. And with the juniors too, I mean, there's going to be crazy talent here. I'm talking about the World Cup. These are the kids we're going to look at for in 2 years, right? So it's a big weekend for these young kids too. So
absolutely. I mean, we pretty much live there the entire weekend. We look forward to it. Actually been there all day. But one of the kind of other questions I wanted to ask or just dig deeper is, this is specific to D1. Obviously, there's a lot of talent on the East Coast, a lot in Canada, a lot in Quebec, and this year, we had Quebec here last year. Now we have Toronto with the Outlaws.
Yeah.
How do you guys go about just trying to recruit that kind of level to travel literally halfway across the country?
Yeah, well, obviously, the word spreads out pretty quickly, and again, it shows because we sold out in 2 weeks. But the funny story, and obviously, we were in Slovakia for the World Cup for the men's level, and we Great Britain. That's kind of the team, and a couple of those guys were from the Toronto area, so we kind of became good friends. So that's how kind of that team got to really know the Quad City, and they're like, hey, we got to come down here and try to win that money. So they're super pumped. They've been emailing us and texting us and calling us, and they're like, literally, I mean, they're going crazy. Like they're leaving. They're coming here, I think, on Friday morning. So they're pumped to come here and try to compete and win and have a good time this whole week.
I think a lot comes down to also, like I said, it's the atmosphere and the fans there. Like we call it a big family, where everybody comes and supports and watches. And I think it's the power of social media right now. It's people see this on the internet everywhere, and they see the live feed game, like, wow, like where's that? Where's Iowa? They have 3-on-3 deck. What is that, right? And I want to try it, right? The Pittsburgh Gauze last year, they saw it's like, wow, this looks legit. They saw videos and stuff. There's actually people watching. They have live stats. They have, like, everything is professional. They have all gear. Everybody's wearing a helmet. Like but like some places they don't have like set rules. So this is organized. It's professional, and I think people are now the word spreading out. Right, we're getting talent from everywhere. Just like the Storm, right? Professional guys. They're not local guys, right? Some guys live in Toronto. Some guys live in Minnesota. They're guys from different areas that are all coming here just to play deck, right? So. Like you said, I said every division is going to be unreal, but the talent D1 I think is going to be an epic show that's you don't want to miss out. It's going to be fun to watch the top talent compete in our own backyard, right? And that was the goal of it, to bring that. That's why we want an open division. It was like we need the best of the best to be playing together, right? Yeah. There's no limits. You can have anybody on your team, and that's how you see who the best players are at that level, right?
Well, no, and I can attest to kind of the word spreading and the atmosphere, because other people I've talked to from out east and, you know, other tournaments, they've tried to emulate, you know, Tent City.
Absolutely.
So it's absolutely a great
It's
weekend.
tough
and
to
definitely
put into
appreciate
words. But before we go too quickly, speaking of the live stats and things like that, NDA3on3.com, especially for you local guys, we've been getting a lot of questions about that. NDA3on3.com, it'll have live game updates in real time. Everything that you need to know is there, from schedules to stars of the game, the whole 9 yards. So make sure you guys are checking that out. But Shaq, anything else here? Closing remarks, boys. What do we got in store for this weekend? Is the QC going to keep the check like they did last year, or is somebody going to hoist it above and take it out? 52722 is reigning champions. So who's going to be the next one? What do you think?
I don't know. I think it's, like I said, it's going to be a battle. Like, you look at last year, we finished the decades. We finished third in the round robin of 5 teams, and we lost to Louisiana, we lost to Pittsburgh, and that's the 2 teams we ended up taking in the semis and the finals. We ended up beating them both games by 1 goal. And for those who remember the epic final, I mean, we were down 5-2 with 4 minutes left. So it's going to be like last year. No game's going to be given out for free this year. It's going to be, everybody's here to compete. The level is unreal. Like I said, at every level is going to be, the competition is going to be so tight, and it's going to be fun games to watch for sure.
And that's the beauty of it, too. Obviously, you know, we're talking about D1, the elite of the elite competing, you know, against each other. But, you know, every level, you know, they go, you know, it's the people want to win. They compete and go hard. So everybody has a place to play at their own level and have an amazing time, you know, and be part of this amazing weekend. So, yeah.
Well, it's going to be a great weekend for sure. I'm sure Tent City is probably already rocking and rolling. We want to give a big thanks to Crawford, literally right down the road from the deck. Come on in. They're giving you $2 off beers for all participants this weekend, so greatly appreciated to them. Also, stay tuned, as our studio will be changing once again.
We're going mobile.
Thanks again. Nick Thole at Landjet is going to be letting us use their mobile boardroom to actually record, so we'll have the high-speed internet, and a lot of the things that we actually need to produce these we can actually do on a vehicle that we will have parked there, I think, for Saturday and Sunday. Yep. So want to thank both of them for helping us out, as well as everybody else who subscribes. Again, NDA3on3.com is where you're going to get all your stats. DeckHockeyFocus.com for all of our stuff. Make sure you guys are checking out our YouTube channel. We need more subscribers there. I know you're out there. Click the button. Help us out. Shackelford, anything else?
No, I think you wrapped it up. Just want to say thank you to you guys, one, for
Thanks, boys.
you know, put all the work coming into the tournament.
We love it. We love it. Best of
Definitely
luck.
ambassadors for the game, and you know, just looking forward to everything that we've got coming up.
Check us out in Tent City and stay tuned.